coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey man, shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Oh yes. Hey, yeah. I appreciate the support, man. I'm out here, man, pushing that P, man, positive energy 24/7, 365. You know what it is. If you've been around here, man, I appreciate you. If you just getting here, stay tuned, sit down, buckle up. You're going on a good ride, man, but it's all about positive energy. It's all about motivating, elevating, and trying to get these young kings and queens to understand, man, that their life is precious and the last place on earth that they want to be is incarcerated. You understand me? There's nothing worth it, no amount of money, no amount of risk, no amount of anything to lose your freedom, man. So that's what we're doing over here, man. Big love to everybody who support the movement, everybody who support the platform. That's what we're doing over here. Positive energy all the way down the line. Let's go. Let's get it. We're on the road to 110K. We need about 300 and some more subscribers, and we'll hit that milestone. After that, 150, we're going to have another meet and a greet. I hope all of y'all pull up. TBP Nation, stand up. Salute. We out here, baby. Man. This is a crazy one right here, right? And I almost forgot about this joint. You know what I'm saying? I really almost forgot about this joint. But I'm going to go ahead on and spill this on y'all, right? See, this is when you blur these lines at right here. This is why it's so hard to get out of the penitentiary. Because I was on Nottoway. This is where I ended up making parole from. So the whole time I'm on Nottoway, for the most part, I'm focusing on trying to get out that door. Eventually I did, you know, God bless. But these be the little things that throw a hiccup in your plans, right? Now, truth be told, now when I first get there, I'd have been turned down so many times, I don't even, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what's going on. See, that's where you'll get caught up at too, trying to get out of the door and you trying to, like go legit, and then you end up in positions where you need stuff. You end up in positions where you feel like you ain't making ends meet or you struggling or something. So what I mean by that is I always ran a store box, right? That was how I really, provided for myself besides gambling. So on Nottoway, I'm trying to peel back. I'm just going like layers. I'm trying to peel back. I ain't trying to gamble no more because I don't want to be getting in those situations because somebody ain't got your money then, somebody play with your money then, you know what I'm saying? You got to get busy. And that's just always going to set you back. It ain't no other way around it. So they go together. So I peel back from the gambling, which I used to do every day. So I peel back away from that, but I'm still running the store box. The store box will bring you problems, but not as many, especially when you've been running it as long as I have and you already got a reputation. But still, though, every now and then you will run into a new jack, a knucklehead, a simpleton. You dig what I'm saying? So I used to always say to myself, ain't number two type of people going to try me in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? After I have been established and people know who I am. Ain't but two type of people going to try me. You know what I'm saying? That's a suicidal joker or idiot. And you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, we got a lot of idiots in the penitentiary, right? So I can remember this white boy. He always come borrow stuff from me, but he didn't get big stuff. But he always come borrow stuff. Every now and then he'll be a little late, but he'll always pay me. Now the thing about me and my store box, I ran that junk with an iron fist. You probably ain't gonna want to borrow from me because I'm gonna be talking aggressive and greasy because it's my money. And I wanted to make the bar understood that don't come get this money playing with this money, man, because it's not gonna turn out the way you think it is. I'm telling you, it is not. And I know this. And so I be letting dudes know this off the top. Oh, that's the parole people. What the? Hold up. Wait a minute. Boom. Let me see what they talking about. What is this, man? Since when these people start sending it? Oh, they sending messages now through the parole people about drug use. Don't apply to me. Gunshots. I thought there was people calling me like I did something wrong. See how they still got me on the hook? Anyway, let's get back to it. I done forgot now. That scared me, man. Like, what the... Yeah, but that shows you what it is too, that don't go off and the phone on silent. But if them people call it, it'll still go off, right? But anyway, like I was saying, the dude, man, he just was one of those, but he always paid me. But like I say, I be talking the way I talk to them dudes, like they come to buy something, I be like, look, bro, you sure you want to get this? Because I'm going to give you whatever you want, but I'm saying, when you going to be able to pay me back? Let me know right now. Don't tell me no lies. Don't tell me no maybes. Don't tell me no ifs. Let me know when you can pay me back, and I'm going to decide if I'm going to give you this money. You know what I'm saying? But whatever you tell me, you're going to have to stand by that. I don't want to hear that, man. My money ain't get here. I don't want to do all that. So just whatever you want, just let me know. And this is how I do business. And if it's the first time you come to me, this is how I'm going to be talking. Now, a lot of dudes will get put off with them and be like, man, don't worry about it. I usually think them ones with the skullduggery anyway, so I'm saving myself some problems off top. Because at the end, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. If you don't got this money, I'm going to touch it. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, a lot of dudes wouldn't borrow. So this white guy, he come get stuff all the time, right? So, but like I say, I used to have to scream on him a little bit, but nothing. I ain't really think he'll really be playing with the money. I know he doing other stuff. He like smoking weed. He like, drinking something. He just do all types of little stupid stuff, and he'll get money in every now and then, but not on a regular. So I worked with him, and I knew what he was doing. But every time he take a little long, I'd be like, man, get my money, man. Stop playing with me, man. Bring that stuff up here. Go borrow it or something, something like that. So I've been dealing with him for a minute now, right? So I remember they moved this little white dude in the block and put him in the cell with him, right? Little white dude, he ain't no more than about 5'7", 5'6.5", right? But he one of them white boys you can look at who you know by his demeanor. Number one, he been locked up before probably several times, or either just one long shot, didn't know at the time. And he think he harder than the rest of the white boys. He think he different. He think he tough. And you can just tell. If you know, you know. And that's the type of vibe he gave me, right? So it didn't bother me, but I just peep everybody to come in the block. That's my job, to know who I'm around and what they got going on, right? So I peeped that from him off the top, right? So his celly had a hustle, though. His celly had a hustle, the white boy that I loaned to. He liked to get high and do all this, but he had a hustle. He do tattoos, too. Now, he wasn't the best tattoo dude in there, but he do tattoos. He do pretty good, and a lot of dudes will go to him every now and then. That would be trying to get his hustle. He might owe the dope man something, or owe, the weed man something. And he might, man, let me give you a tattoo, man. I got you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? And just you work that off my bill or something like that. So I know he'll eventually get money, and his people send him money. So, after the white boy been in there with him for a while, you could see the difference. You could see how he moving. It's like the white boy done got in his head and like put a battery in his back trying to be tough. Like, man, you ain't got to be doing all of that, man. And you can, do what you want. I don't know if he was on some white supremacy stuff or whatever it was. If he was, he ain't just broadcasting nothing. But I read demeanor. I read body language. I could see he really didn't, rock with a whole lot of black people. And he thought he was tough, but he couldn't act like it because of where he at. He couldn't just, beat his chest and be like, man, man, F all the N words and, I'm a white, but he couldn't do that. But I felt like that's how he felt. So, in me dealing with his celly, I go down there sometime, knock on the door, man. Like, hey, man, hey, man, stole day, man, bring that up there. Oh, I got you, Banky, I got you. And I used to always catch his little look, like he might be sitting in there and like, heard knock on the door. And I used to talk to his celly, he'd be like, like he got an attitude with what I'm saying to his celly or how I'm saying it to his celly. So I used to give him the same old look back, right? So I felt a little tension, but in my mind, I'm like, man, this little white boy would never, he would never try me, right? But then I think, man, some months that went by, he done been in there now a minute, man. Good 8, 9 months, maybe pulling up close to a year, something anywhere up in there. And I ain't never really had no issues with him. Just like I said, I just peeped it. You know, he thought he was somebody that I didn't think he was, right? So I remember this one particular time, his seller owed me some money. Probably like, anyway, that's 15, it's under $20. Somewhere up in there. But, you know, it's my money. You know what I'm saying? And it's the end of the day on store day, and he ain't bought that money yet. So I go down there to the cell. Say, yo, put my head in the door, look in the door after I knock. You know, you put your hand right there first. Don't just, you know what I'm saying? You don't just pop your head in nobody's cell. You. Yo, and you come in because you don't know what they got going on in there. So when I come in, I said, man, what's up with you, man? Where my money at, man? He was like, no, Banky, man, today I just got caught up. I'm doing a tattoo now, and I'm gonna the dude is gonna give me the money in the morning. I'm almost finished the tattoo now. I'm almost finished, you know, in the morning. I just gotta do one more piece, and then I'm gonna have the money for you in the morning. I'm like, look, bro, all that morning stuff, you know you supposed to pay me today. I know, man, I know. And he just sitting there and he started doing all these, you know what I'm saying, old gestures and stuff like, you know, like, and it don't annoy me. So I'm like, and I'm talking to him. So I'm like, man, hey, yo, you got a problem? You got something you want to tell me? And he looked at me and he was like, man, I ain't saying nothing to you. Don't say nothing to me. I'm like, man, F you. Who you think you talking to, boy? And he say, boy, I ain't no boy up in here. You better deal with him. He's the one that owes you some money. You better deal with him. I ain't no boy. I said, man, you better watch your mouth, man. He said, I ain't got to watch my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, you right. You ain't got to watch. He said, I know I don't. You know what I'm saying? He said, turn to the seller, he like, you sitting there letting him talk to you, man, like you're a sucker, man. He's going to treat you like a sucker. I'm like, what the? I'm like, man, if you owe me some money, I'll talk to you like that. He said, and you wouldn't get it. I said, okay, you right. I wouldn't get it. I said, I tell you what, get my money in the morning, man. You know what I'm saying? And I roll out. So I heard him chitting-chatting or whatever when I'm walking out, right? But I'm mad, so I'm trying to get away from the cell because I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? If I say something, I'm going to do something. If I commit myself, it's going to be done. If it comes out my mouth, I say I'm going to F you up, I'm going to F you up. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. So I ain't want to say nothing. Because I ain't want to do nothing. Because I ain't in no position for real to be getting in no trouble. But, man, this thing was eating at me, man. Little bitty white boy trying to get tough with me, man. I'm like, man, boy, I couldn't function. Man, I couldn't function, man. I go up in the cell. I'm trying to fix me a cup of coffee to calm down. I'm in the cell with Junkie Jerry. So Jerry like, man, what wrong with you? I said, man, boy. He was like, what's up, man? I said, man, little white boy down there, man, in the cell with the white boy. I be, you know, owing me money and stuff. I said, man, you don't try to get smart. He said, because I had talked to Jerry about it before. I said, that little white boy down there, he think he tough. He said, the one you said tough. I said, yeah, he think he's tough. I said, so what do he do? So I explained to him what he do. He said, man, don't even worry about him, man. He probably high. Because he a dope fiend. He be getting high. He be getting high as gas. He wasn't white. You can look at him and tell that he, you know what I'm saying, like getting high when he first came in. But now, since the seller doing tattoos, and I don't know what he doing because I ain't in his business, but he be high as gas. He be, you know, on that dope. He be nodding off and everything, but he just, you know, he give you that demeanor like he think he a bad little mofo, you know. So Jerry said, man, leave that man alone, man. He ain't do nothing, man, but get you in trouble, man. I said, man, I ain't fighting at the dude, but I was, though, because I just don't even like being, you know, talked to like that, especially from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I will smash your whole face in. So I can't get these images out my head with him talking slick. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing popped in my head is when I say, if you owe me, I talk to you like that. And he said, you wouldn't get it. I couldn't get that out of my head. I'm laying down that night trying to sleep. I see his face telling me, and you wouldn't get it. Man, you got me blowed. I told him I wouldn't get it. So I'm trying to ignore it. That's what I say when you in the catch-22, man. You trying to, You know, and this is what I mean by that, because he ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking to his sellers about. He ain't got nothing to do with it. You don't owe me, your seller owe me. You don't have a rapport with me, your seller got a rapport with me. Me and your seller been going through this before you got here. This how I talked to him. Evidently, if he wanted to do something about it, he would have been done something about it, or he would have been stopped come borrowing from me. Because he know this how I'm going to talk. He know this how I'm going to be about my money. You see what I'm saying? So he ain't got no problem with it. So who is you? Is you his man? Is you know what I'm saying? This your son? This your brother? Who is you to even talk to me about my business? This how I'm feeling. You know? So I'm trying to ignore that. I'm trying to shake it, but I can't, man. So I remember we came out the next morning, and they went to breakfast, and they all went to breakfast, and they come back. And when they come back in, I don't go. I'm standing on the top rail. My cell, when you walk in the door, you on the the bottom row. Then when you come about 6 cells up and you look up, I'm right there. Their cell is all the way over there on the other side on the bottom, right? So I'm standing on the top drinking the coffee. So I'm seeing all the people coming back from breakfast, right? So he walking back in with his seller, and his seller look up there and see me. So his seller said, I got you, Bank. And I said, yeah, all right. And I got a cup of coffee. I'm leaning on the jump, Captain Morgan style. I'm like, all right. And then I see him, just a little jester, man. He look up and he was like, it just like he bebopping on to his. I'm like, I'm gonna beat this mother. You know what I'm saying? He was getting under my skin, man. Like, you playing with me, boy, and I ain't to be played with. You know, so I'm like, man. So I remember we had to go in after they go to breakfast, and they go back in, man. They do a count. So I remember going in for the count, and I'm drinking more coffee. And I told Jerry, I said, man, I think I'm going to have to whoop this little white boy, man. He was like, man, leave that white boy alone, Bank. I'm telling you, man, he ain't worth it. I said, man, I'm going to have to whoop this white boy. I said, I'm going to say something to him, Jerry. I got to say something to him, because he keep on eyeballing me like he think I'm playing with him. And then that little slick stuff he said last night. He said, but he don't owe you no money, so you ain't got to worry about it. I said, but he was like, I wouldn't get it. I said, and then he walked in. He just looking up at me, staring like he tough, man. He said, man, Bank, I'm telling you, man, leave him alone, man. I said, man, I'm going in there and say something to him. I said, now, depending upon what he say, is dependent upon what's gonna happen. He said, man, you say he talking slick, you asking for trouble. Jerry's always the voice of reason. I got to give to Jerry, man. Shout out to Jerry, man. But when you know what I'm saying, when you locked in on something, you ain't really listening. You listening, but you ain't listening. And you know what he's saying is true. So I'm like, okay. So boom. I started looking at my sales. See, this is what you do. You start looking at your sale and you start calculating stuff like, if I go to jail, what they got to pack up. And you looking at your list in your brain and what you got, who owe me money, who I'm going to have to collect this money from, who ain't paid. You got to think about all of that, you know. And if you think about it too long, then you ain't going to do nothing. But then the problem with not doing nothing is it's going to bother you. You know what I'm saying? Internally, that you got this little sucker running around thinking that he can talk slick to you. And you can't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm all over the place in my brain. And I'm trying to figure all of this out before these doors open. You know what I'm saying? Because you got something on your mind, and penitentiary, man, you got to get it off your mind, man. Just so you can even possibly be trying to think clearly throughout the day. And I couldn't. So I knew I was going to dress up. So I started putting little stuff in certain areas. So if they had to pack me up, I tell Jerry, look, man, get this, get that, man, make sure, woo, all this, all that. You know what I'm saying? Made a little list of who owed me. You know what I'm saying? Had to put it on paper. So if something happened, I say, Jerry, get that paper from right there. That's who owe me. Get this money. Because I'm going to say something to this white boy. I know I am. It's just bothering me too much. So when the doors open, I come out. You know, everybody started moving around, waiting for me to call outside rec, right? So I'm sitting up in this joint, and I'm like, man, I'm drinking that coffee on the top tier, and I'm looking down, I'm looking around, and I don't see him. So I'm thinking about him, but I don't see him, so I'm still thinking. But he came out the cell, man, and leaned up on the front of his door and crossed his arm. and put his back feet up on the door, and he just like looking around. And a lot of dudes standing in front of their cell. So once he did that, and my eyes were scanning, and I saw him standing right there, I was like, oh no, I'm tired of this sucker. So I go in there, put my cup of coffee down, come out, start coming downstairs, right? Come downstairs and walking straight over that joint. So he standing in front of the door. He don't say nothing. I go to the door, but I'm looking at him, but I got that stone face on. So I go to the door, and the cellar in there. And I said, yo. And he was like, turn around and see me. He said, yeah, I'm going to get that. He going to bring that to me in about 10 minutes. I said, let me holler at you for a minute. He said, well, what's up, Banky? He going to give it to me. I said, I know. So I stepped in the cell, right? So I stepped in the cell because I wanted his cellie to come in the cell. You did? So when I stepped in the cell, his cellie turned around and come to the door. Now he's standing in the door. I'm about 3 foot in the cell talking to his cellie, right? But I got my back where I could see him and see him. But he comes standing there like he holding the cell there. That even more irritated me. Like, you really think you tough like that. So, boom. So I'm talking to him. I said, look, so you say, what time you said the dude was going to bring you stuff? He said, he going to bring it to me, man. He said he could get it to me before they call outside rec. And I got you. I said, I know you got me. I said, hold on for a minute. So I turned to his cellie. I said, hey, man, did you say you had something you wanted to tell me? He said, he got his foot now he in this inside of the door frame, but like he was leaning on the front of the door with his foot up. He leaning inside the door frame like that with his foot up. So when I turned to him and I say that, he said, man, I ain't got nothing to say to you because I don't owe you nothing. And I just get a little close to him. I said, huh? And he said, man, I said I ain't got, and I just snatched him, grabbed him, brought him up in the room. His cellie said, hey, man, hey, Banky. Man, I'm tense. I slam him down on the ground. I get him down on the ground. And I'm in my mind, I don't want to hit him. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to bruise him up or something, worst case scenario, and I'm going to jail. I wanted to let him know that I wanted to be played with. So when I got him on the ground, he tussling, he trying to get up. I just was choking him. So I'm choking him. I'm like, I said, boy, don't play with me, man. Who you think I am, man? You think I'm somebody to play with? You think? And his face turning red. But he ain't submitting. He trying to kick and pull my hands loose and trying to get up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm choking him. And his cellie, he could have jumped me, but I know he was a coward. You know what I'm saying? So he said, come on, Banky, man, come on, man. So I'm like, you still want to play with me, boy? Huh? You want to play with me? Then I banged his head one time on this concrete floor. Boom! You can hear that jump. He still knows me. He trying to fight. So I ease up off the grip so I ain't choking him to death, but I'm still on top of him, right? So I said, look at here, man. Don't say nothing to me, man. Don't play with me, boy. I'll kill you up in here. So he was like, boom. He was still trying to get up. He got his hands, I pulled my hands up off of him. So I said, I'm going to let you up, and then you get up and act like a fool. So boom, I push him. I get up away from him. I bag up. I look to the door. I see some dudes, because you can hear it. Dudes coming. They looking. They trying to be nosy. That's going to draw heat. So when I stand up and I back up, I'm thinking this sucker going to get up and be like, all right, okay, yeah, you. Now, that sucker got up and say, man, F you, you don't scare me. Man, bop. Bang, bang. So I hit him. Bing, bing. I ain't like drill him, but I hit him enough that I know he gonna feel it. Bop, bop. You know what I'm saying? Bust his little nose. He fall back on the bed. I go to get back up on it. He kicked me. He kicked me. So I grab his leg and jerk him off the bed. He come up off the bed and his head hit the cement. Boom. And he is there and I get up on top of him. I could have savaged them up in that joint. But the truth be told, I'm scared now. I'm scared because I done already put my hands on him. I don't know if he gonna tell it. I don't know if one of these suckers on the outside and went to the people and told it because they might owe me some money and this their way out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to jail. This could be their way out. They could go to booster. Man, they fighting up in cell 13. You know, they be doing stuff like that. So now I'm scared. I'm panicking up in this joint like, and in my voice, in my mind's eye, I heard Jerry tell me, man, just leave it alone. So I'm like, oh, yeah. So boom. So he kind of groggy, but he getting up. He's sitting up. He get up, right? So he stand up again. So he stand up. I said, you want some more? You want some more? So he just looking at me, right? And he sat on the bottom bunk, right? He sat up on the bottom bunk. His little nose dripping blood, right? So his celly told himself, come on, Banky, man. He had enough, man. He had enough. Okay, just leave him alone. Just leave him alone. I said, yeah. I said, say something else to me, all right? Say something else to me. Say something else to me. Watch what I do to you, right? So I peel out. I leave up out the cell, right? So I'm walking out the cell, and it's a crazy walk, man. It's a crazy walk because you feel like dots, like eyes is looking at you, right? So I'm trying to be inconspicuous. So I'm looking up at the booth to see if the person that's in the booth is looking. They ain't on the side, right? So I'm like, boom, boom. So I go on upstairs. I'm looking around, see who out here. I'm like, which one of these jokers gonna try to tell on me? I know, I just can feel it. So I go upstairs, man. I go on up in the room, Jersey. Yeah, I already know. I seen them down there. I already know, man. So I said, bro, I ain't do nothing. I tried to talk to him. I was going to just try to handle him, see what he do. I said, man, the boy wanted to fight, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, well, what'd you do? I said, I just punched him a couple of times, right? He said, is he bleeding? I said, yeah, his nose. He said, he gonna tell it. I said, yeah, I know he is, man. So I stopped, separating my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Separating my stuff. I get a note to jury with my list on it. Like, man, if I go to jail, man, these dudes owe me, man. I said, I'm going to go out here and there and tell them if something happened. If I go to jail, they got to pay you this money, so they won't say when you go to them with the list, they won't say, man, bank ain't tell me to pay you. I said, I'm getting ready to go tell them there. So I was putting some of my stuff together, come back out. I go to a couple of dudes, start telling them what's going on, and the people start calling outside rec. So when they call outside rec, dudes start running to the door, lining up to the door to go outside, right? So I peel back, go back upstairs. I see him come out with his celly to go outside rec. You know what I'm saying? I see him. He threw his coat on, threw everything on, you know what I'm saying? He come up out that joint, you know what I'm saying? Come up out that joint like he ain't nothing wrong with him, you know what I'm saying? Little nose, little red or whatever, but he come up out the joint. He got the scully on, pulled way down like right here, you know what I'm saying? And he go outside. So I'm still scared though, because I'm thinking if the police see him and look like he bruised up, ask him what's going on. Maybe he gonna tell. Maybe he not. I don't know. But I think he'll tell. But you acting tough, so you don't supposed to be telling. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking he a white boy. He gonna tell. And he, you know what I'm saying? Because he been walking around, he acting tough. So showing up, man, I'm in there the whole time they on outside rec, man. Every time I heard the side door, man, I'm like a joker on crack, man. They coming in here. And you know what I'm saying? Because you scared. You thinking they get ready to come get you. They ain't come. So when the rec come back, they go back to the cell. His celly come up there, bring me the money he owed me, right? So I try to pick his celly, right? I'm like, what's up with your celly, man? What he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? He was like, he's not gonna do anything. I said, man, he all right? He said, yeah, I mean, he a little bruised up, man. Banky, I know I was trying to tell you, man, that, he didn't want to fight or anything, man. It's just his attitude. That's how he is. I said, so is he going to tell? He said, oh, no, he's not going to tell, man. He's not going to tell, and he's not going to say anything else to you. I said, how you know that? He said, I know he's not going to say anything else to you, man. He's not going to say, we don't want no trouble, Banky, man. You know I'm not about no trouble, man. He's not going to say anything to you, and he's not going to tell. I said, all right, okay. He said, I promise you, man, he's not going to tell. I said, okay. So, boom, he leave. So I look at Jerry. Jerry look at me. He said, oh, no, man. Oh, no. I said, man. I said, now I got to worry about one of these suckers trying to tell if he ain't going to tell. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, the whole time, I'm nervous purpose. You know what I'm saying? I go the whole week being nervous purpose, man. You know what I'm saying? Every day I'm looking at him, trying to get a sneak look at him and see if he still look bruised up. You know what I'm saying? He had a knot in the back of his head. You know what I'm saying? His nose was red. His nose was swollen. Little eye had got black. You know what I'm saying? You get hit in the nose decent up. Your eyes are blacker. So I'm like, man, but he putting on when he wears orange hat. He got his orange hat down low like that. Or either he got the scully on and he got it pulled down low. So he get by and he don't say nothing. He don't say nothing else to me. You know what I'm saying? When he catch my look, he do like this and look away. You know what I'm saying? But he tried me though. He was trying me from the beginning. And I don't know why. I ain't never get to the issue of why he thought he could try me. I never, had the conversation with him no more after that. He ain't say nothing to me, so I ain't say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? And I went down there more times, like later on, dealing with his celly. You know what I'm saying? And he just ain't never say nothing. But them be the little bitty things, man, that just mess your whole game plan up. This just be the vibe of what you can feel. And if I had to guesstimate, it was just something about him. He just didn't like me. I don't know whether he felt like I was handling his celly and then he in there with his celly. And he probably was getting high off his celly because it ain't look like he had no hustle. But his celly always doing little hustles and tattoos and this, that, and the third. And both of them stay high as gas. So how is you getting high when I don't even see? But I can't say. He could have just had money coming in. I don't know. But I know he stayed high. I could tell when somebody's high, especially off that dope. But I don't know, he just ain't like me, man. But he lucky though, because if I was on a different time period of doing time, I would have dog walked him. Cause I wouldn't have cared about, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to go home. And coincidentally, I ended up going home like about 3-4 years later. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 3 from that incident. Probably about 3.5 years later, I ended up going home. But had that one little incident had got out of hand, even if he had a knife or something like that, he was too little for me to worry about him having a knife. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I had mines on me, but I knew I could whip him like hand to hand. There wasn't no need for that. But he could have pulled one out and we could have been in a different situation. Parole was out of the question. Just getting caught or locked up for that fight, parole was out of the question. So you got to ask yourself, what's worth it? You know what I'm saying? You going to take a chance on fighting and not going home for something that petty? Yeah, you have to in the penitentiary because all issues not addressed can get worse. He could have got to the point where he could have thought I was really scared of him because I didn't address him the way I should have addressed him. And then he could have said something out there in public, real loud one time, embarrassed me or something, caught me off guard, and I did something that I didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Just responded. So that's what happened when you give them dudes courage, man, to think that they can play with you, talk to you any kind of way, you do something or owe you money and don't pay you. You have to address those issues off top. This is what makes penitentiary so stressful, so unpredictable, man, where you don't know what's going to happen between here and tomorrow. You have no clue. And that was just one of them times. And out of all the people that I would have thought that was going to try me, I wouldn't have been a 5'6", 5'7" white boy. But he had it. He popping off at the mouth, eyeballing me, gritting me, looking me up and down. Man, tell me something, you wouldn't have got it. Yeah, I would have got something else, brother. Some more time, you understand me, playing with my money. But anyway, man, y'all talk to me in the comments. I talk back. I know y'all probably say, man, Banky, that was a bonehead move. And it was. But I'm just telling you how it went down. I'm smarter now. I'm sharper now. But at that time, man, that's just how I was living. You know what I'm saying? It was a bonehead move. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all let me know in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Big love, TBP Nation. Stand up, man. Big love to all my subscribers, man. All my members. Membership video coming soon. If you don't got it, you better get it. Because you think we doing something over here. We ain't playing over there.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.